Hey everybody. So it's 111 degrees right now here in Corvallis, Oregon, and smashing the hottest day ever. I've got my bottle of water with me in case I see any animals that seem to be in need, and it's pretty brisk out here. Pretty crispy, actually. That's a better word. Pretty crispy. I kind of dig it because I'm built for hot weather, and I don't see too many other folks outside. In fact, I don't see anybody else outside right now. But I'm going to take a circuit in my neighborhood. Well, so climate change. That some of you know I've been writing about for about 10 years now. Haven't been writing about it so much recently because pretty much everything that had to be said about it had been said by a few years ago, and here we are. So, as glamorous and scary and interesting and overwhelming as climate change is, it comes down to physics, really. It's all physics. We have certain gases in the atmosphere that are able to trap in heat that would otherwise rebound off the Earth, more or less, and go back into space. And certain gases that don't trap heat. And those gases aren't really relevant to climate change. But the gases that do, which we call greenhouse gases, we have, of course, been putting more and more of those into the atmosphere in the last couple hundred years, and especially the last few decades, by digging up hundreds of millions of years worth of carbon that was buried beneath the Earth's surface out of the atmosphere and burning it into the atmosphere. And that's climate change. That's global warming. And so here we are. And so the physics. Last September, those of us living in Oregon were dealing with the physics of wind and smoke because we had the worst wildfires in recorded history. And while the fires weren't right here in Corvallis, the smoke came. And for 10 days, we essentially didn't see the sun and had to stay inside because of the really thick smoke. And now I just learned something interesting physics-wise about temperature. So right now, as I said, it's 111 degrees in Corvallis. And it's 114 degrees in Phoenix. Now for Phoenix, I'm guessing that's hot, but it's not unprecedented at all. And if you go onto the weather page, it says 114 degrees. And the real feel is 108 degrees. So what the real feel is the actual temperature plus the humidity. And the humidity in Phoenix is basically non-existent, and that lowers how hot it actually feels. Now here it's 111 degrees, but the humidity is 32%, which isn't that high, but apparently it's high enough to make the real feel right now 126 degrees. So that's kind of cool, that physics, even if it's very harmful, I'm sure, to some people right now, especially those who live in maybe apartments that don't have air conditioning. Seattle has fewer air conditioners than any city in the country, and Portland has the third least because we've never needed air conditioning before, and that may be changing. So, as I said, I'm a bit of a weirdo in that I love hot and humid weather, so I'm actually digging this. But you can see not many other people seem to be digging it. So that's it for now. I'm gonna continue my stroll and look for animals. I have a bowl in my backpack, and if I see a cat, not likely a dog, but if I see a cat or even some birds that seem to be overly thirsty, I'll see if I can entice them to take a drink. We're due to go back to only a high of 92 tomorrow, So this will be passed for now, although in Portland, it's still supposed to be 114 tomorrow. And in Salem, which is only 25 or 30 miles to our north, it's still supposed to be 111. So this heat dome, which is over all of us right now, is obviously shifting a little to the north, so we'll benefit from that. Okay, that's it. Have a nice day, everybody.